My name is Eric Yell, and I play guitar for the eGOmaniAKs.
My name is Noah Cohen-Corbett, and I play drums for the eGOmaniAKs.
My name was Miles Darby, and I play bass for the eGOmaniAKs.
So, what are your thoughts on the Vermont show?
Honestly, it was not all I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. I feel like I had a really great potential to be an awesome show because it was it was a nice cabin. It was
It was
friends,
a beautiful
but
man. It was a beautiful
it just
house.
didn't get that big.
There was probably 12 people there.
That said, it was not what we had hoped it would be in terms of playing a live show for mad people, but
it was so
it was
good
still
time.
so fun to play. We just chilled out and didn't have to worry about how we were
I feel like we gotta just kind of it was more like playing with them and just kind of some other people came on instruments. There was some other jam sessions, so that was sick.
It was just everybody chilling. It wasn't a show. It wasn't even a party. It was it was a really it was just a chill sesh between friends that and there's people we didn't even know except for the people we brought up. So it was a weird atmosphere, but it was fun.
It was chilling
really
with
fun.
music.
Yeah.
Are you guys glad that you went?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I had a great time.
Yeah, me too.
What went wrong with down the chain of command or organization? Why did you guys, once you got there, you were in the car for a while, once you got there, you were wow, there's nobody here. What went wrong in the communication of
I don't know. I think he just he was gonna have a party and it just didn't get as big as he expected it to, and I don't know. That just happens. That was not anything between communication. I guess he could have told us.
I wasn't exactly surprised though.
Yeah, I mean it's just
you hype up a party sometimes it just doesn't get big.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes you get way too many people. And
exactly.
It's crazy
and it was rescheduled too. So a lot of people had dropped out. That's what one of the kids at the party was saying that. A lot of people just dropped out because he changed the date on.
Yeah, it was gonna be a lot earlier and it was gonna be a lot bigger, but I guess that probably affected it.
Do you guys feel like you benefited from playing from that show, or was it more of just I was there, we had a good time, that was it?
Well, we got really cool footage from the show, so
yeah,
that alone
that was
sick.
Cool.
It was just a good place to get awesome footage, and we didn't achieve the goal was to make the music video for Lewis.
that's true. We were trying to shoot a video and that didn't happen.
But we got good footage nonetheless.
And we also just gotta practice. It's always good to practice in front of an audience.
Yeah.
It's low key enough that we're not worried, but at the same time, it's not a regular band practice, so we have to be on our game. So it was good to have
it's still performance.
Just small pressure. So that was kind of good.
When you guys perform or practice, do you try to package getting footage and playing for an audience? It's a kind of a package deal so that you can sort of maximize what you're doing and to show more people.
I don't think we haven't had that big of a videography kind of effort previously, so we're kind of just taking it as it comes. When we have a camera now, if we can have a camera there, it's sick. Just get some footage, but
yeah,
it's always good. We just like to do anything we can to be able to further our pursuit of whatever goals we have, and up till now we haven't had really the opportunity as much to be able to have someone come along to every show and record good quality video. So we'll see. We don't know what the future holds for all this footage. We can start putting out live performances on the internet a couple times a month and just let people get hyped up that way.
Yeah, we'll see.
Where do you guys feel like you are as a band right now? Do you feel like you play wherever you're invited, or do you feel like you can pick and choose where you play?
A little bit of both. Some people also, I feel in our group have conflicting feelings of we should play every single show we get, and what you were saying. I was
yeah. I feel like the best thing to do is to be able to pick and choose the shows that you play so that you can play for audiences that are gonna hype you up and gonna go tell people and where you're gonna be able to get your message out as much as possible. But it's good to be able to do that without playing so many shows that you kind of
just
make
exhaust
yourself. Yeah, so that
people get bored. Yeah. You just can't reinvent your set. If you're doing a show in the same place in the same exact audience, they might come through to see it, but eventually you're going to be playing the same basic group of songs, and you just want to mix it up really more.
You just want to stay fresh and hit different spots.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges right now of you guys and where you are as a band?
challenges.
I think organization is the biggest thing right now, honestly.
I'd say organization and communication.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, like we're all good communicating with each other in terms of just like as people, but like just like
just the fact that Lewis doesn't have a cell phone. So
yeah, that kind of is a bummer.
And just like information about shows and that stuff. It just kind of a lot of stuff comes late, and we all know that. I think we're all kind of like patient with how things are a little difficult logistically, but
it's still managed to work out. Like, everything's managed to work out.
We just know that's part of it right now, and we're gonna get that eventually.
Now this is gonna you're gonna have to jog your memory a little bit, but what were your thoughts on the Fag Fest in New York City? I know you weren't there, but Eric and Miles, if you could pitch.
Yeah. You want to say something?
Well, personally, I thought I'd been to New York City once before. And I'm just really used to the way it is in Amherst, where everybody's really supportive of each other's music, and that's the general attitude. And I wasn't necessarily expecting that when we were gonna play in New York City, because I just wasn't expecting that. I didn't know what to expect necessarily, but when we got there, people showed us a lot of love, and it was better than I thought it was gonna be. And
yeah, I think it was really awesome. Like the other bands, there's bands who were from New York, and there was a couple bands who were from other places, but everyone
a few different rap groups that were cool.
Yeah, it was rap group. Then there was also kind of a folk vibe, and it was just it was definitely had a rap focus, but there was other groups, and I kind of liked how everyone was accepting of each other's music, and everyone was supporting each other. It just made it more comfortable for people who felt kind of out of place there.
There were some technical difficulties though, right? How did you guys? What was going through your mind at the time, and how do you guys, as musicians, adjust to kind of technical trip-ups in performance?
Yeah, well, personally, I've been playing shows for a long, long time, so I've that type of stuff happens more often than not, because usually I play basement shows or something where there is no sound technician, and pretty much you just have to just stick through, do what you can to make it as sound as good as possible, and know that you did your best, and next time you'll kill it. And it sucks when it happens, when the PA Kyle Lewis, he just kept going, he still kept rapping, and people, it's people weren't blaming Lewis that happened. It's not his fault. People could tell that he was incredible rapper. They're he's going ham right now, but we just can't hear him.
Yeah. And people focus in on that, when it cut out, people they're your mic's off, and they're and he kind of goes a little bit louder, and then people just focusing more on his mouth and what he's trying to say there, and so I feel it kind of it sucks, but you just have to ride with it. And the bass drum wasn't staying in place, so while he was drumming, it kept moving, so I would just have to kick it over with my foot. You just gotta be aware of everything that's happening, and you can respond to it pretty easily.
How do you guys now? No, you can come back in, but how do you guys judge if you played a good show or not?
Feeling, vibes.
Yeah.
You get good vibes from a good show. You feel good about your performance. You know it was good. You get bad vibes. You feel like people weren't into it. You played a bad set. You know it.
Yeah, it's just really it's
all about the vibes. It's definitely all about the vibes.
Because you can technically do a show well. You can maybe play not make errors, but the vibe is just off, and sometimes that you can blame that on the location or the audience, but it's just a combination of who's there, how they're feeling, how you're feeling, what your music sounds like, stuff like that.
So you guys have Battle of the Bands coming up. I want to
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's
yeah,
right.
That's dope.
What are your feelings leading up before the show?
I don't want to jinx it, but I feel pretty fucking confident.
We're all feeling good about it. We all eGOmaniAKs. We have our we trust ourselves.
And I think we're all we've been playing shows consistently, and actually just feeling really good after each show in a different way. We feel we're getting something from each show, and I think we're coming to this show with a good number of shows, just as musicians and as a band together, and working with Lewis. It's I feel we've got our practice in. We're ready for this.
And we have a show tonight, so that I'm kind of thinking about that, and I'm sure we're all kind of thinking about that. So it's taken away from the fact that we have the Battle of Bands tomorrow, in the sense that
it's not so big. It's all right, we have to focus on this tonight. It's a little smaller, but it kind of keeps keeps us in the moment here and not have to worry about that.
But knock on wood, I've always done that since I was a little kid. Knocking on wood.
Yeah.
Not even superstitious, just that one.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel and see yourselves as a team?
Yeah.
Use each other's presence to, you know, and feel each other's energies when you're on stage.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Definitely.
It's like
without that, it wouldn't be a band, or it wouldn't be a musical group without that.
I feel like we each have a unique relationship with each other. Like when we're playing, like I'm keyed in with Noah 100%, and I'm also keyed in with Eric 100% in a different way, and not just because they're different instruments. It's just like, you know what I mean. Like you have to be,
because we're all different musicians.
Yeah, exactly. We have to be like, you have to be on point with each person, because that's really what it is.
Definitely.
Tell me how you guys formed and first met.
Well,
we all went to high school together. So
yeah.
Kind of how we first met, but like none of us were really friends. Like I've known Miles for like years. Like
we went to elementary school, same elementary school. Like we all went to the same high school, but we kind of just knew of each other, and I guess like.
Well, me and Noah started playing music together in like 7th grade, and then he was like the only person I played music with like from then on until like now, pretty much is Noah. Noah's like my drummer. Like there's like nobody else besides my brother, who I grew up since I was like 6 playing, like he was playing drums and I was playing guitar. But ever since Noah came, it's been nobody else, and I've taken him 100% for granted because he's the best drummer, and it's just like he's the drummer that's there that I'm always playing with. So it just like
so like
these
guys have been playing music for mad long. I know Lewis since like middle school. Like we were like not great friends, we were like pretty good friends, and then he hit me up like I guess last year to like, do you like want to play bass for a band? Like I'm trying to get a band. Like Sen is gonna like play like I don't know, keyboards or something. He had like all this he had this list of super group that he was trying to form, and he just knew that I played bass, so he hit me up. And what was after that?
Well, so Ray, Eric's brother, was the original drummer.
Yeah.
And the original band that like actually got going was Miles, Ray, and these two dudes.
These two wonderful musicians from Amherst College.
Yeah, and they're
incredible musicians. Ian is a credible guitarist who's doing his thing now, getting his major in his music. They both are getting their music.
And they were really great musicians. Like I feel like they're senior. You know, they're getting to get a lot of work and starting to lose time to play with the band, and so I feel like they.
And it was right at the same time where Lewis wanted to pick it up and start moving.
Exactly.
And Lewis just like, I mean, I've been friends with Lewis for a while. These guys are my really good friends, and like Noah's just like, she should get Eric. He's a sick guitarist. Like, and it should make sense because we're all it takes out the business aspect of it because we're all friends and we'd all be doing it together anyways.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's just
we don't want
when it was with Ian and Ben, our practice space was this room at Amherst College. Yeah. And every time we went there, it felt like mad. It was like super businessy, super like kind of formal, and we would like go in and we'd be like, all right, we have like an hour and 15 minutes, and then we'd go in there, play our songs, and leave. And we just had like a bunch of practices like that leading up to Hampshire Halloween, and it was just like.
It was just kind of stressful sometimes because we felt so much more restricted, like restrained for the time to get everything done in this little bit of time, and kind of then just like it. Yeah, I felt
like with we just go to my crib where we've been playing music for like years and years.
How did you guys pick up your individual instruments?
I started playing guitar when I was 6, and I was kind of influenced by my mom because she used to play like acoustic guitar when she was younger. She doesn't anymore, but she got me into it. And she kind of like taught me for a sound, and I started taking lessons. And then once I kind of like picked up like the basic mechanics from lessons, I started just doing my own thing and just playing it just playing by myself and with other people in terms of like bands and groups.
Yeah. I started playing drums in like I think 5th grade. I'd been playing guitar for like 2 years, and I was just like trying to like do something else too. So I just joined like the school band. Put together a set and started playing all the time. Formed like my first band in 7th grade, like metal and shit like that.
I think I started playing bass in like end of 6th grade or something. So I was like 12, and I was playing with my best friend. He was playing drums, and we kind of like started this band. And at first, there's a music video out there somewhere of me, him, and his dad playing some Green Day song or something for like a 6th grade presentation. It's wild. And so I kind of picked it up there. I've been playing guitar also previously, but I dropped that and stuck with bass. And I took a lesson here and there, but like I really just kind of self-taught, and that's kind of how I do my thing.
When this group came together, what were your first impressions of each other's skills and how you guys sounded in general?
Dude, it was sick. It was just so easy.
I mean, it was exactly. I didn't. I kind of knew what it was going to be like, and I knew it was going to be sick because me and Noah have been, as I said, been playing music together for so long, and I already knew like Miles was like a sick bassist, and it's just like, I know we're all good musicians, so it was just so easy to come together.
Yeah.
But like aside from just like being good musicians, I just felt like when we played, it was just like easy. That was like the adjective I think I could put on it, because it was like we just came together, we jammed, and it was like the music was just coming out, and like we weren't trying very hard.
We weren't thinking notes, we weren't thinking anything. We weren't thinking like how it should sound. It just sounded.
Yeah, exactly. So that was sick.
All vibes. It's all vibes.
Same with the shows, man. All vibes.
Yeah.
So there were like no initial challenges at first with like kind of like, all right, Eric, you need to like lower your sound, like no, play more, up more. Like there was nothing like that, or it just.
I mean, we're all pretty familiar with the style that we're playing in, and although we haven't necessarily like done a lot of like hip hop before, it kind of like it took like maybe a couple practices to like settle into like the spot that it like needed to be at, but like we really like kind of could feel it out. And,
we locked into it too. We figured it out like.
And also like that sound has just been progressing. Like there's been different drummers, there's just been different musicians, and like. That sound, I think Lewis has really also just been trying to find like the sound that he wants. Like he really tries to. He has some musical input that he's like that he doesn't want to add too much because he doesn't know much about music theory. But he also has like an opinion of what this music should sound like, and he's been kind of directing that. And
pretty much what he'll do, he'll just like sing out like a part for me, like da da da, and I'll just be like, oh, we're in, and I'll just like sound it out on my guitar because I don't know much about music theory at all either. So we'll just like he'll just like sing out a little like. Just
little like melody, so he really just like he's kind of been shaping it so like it wasn't kind of like it all like just like came together at once. It was like we've been kind of slowly like adding and removing, kind of like changing it, and then this is just when it clicked. It's just like now it's just set, and that's why it feels so good right now.
Yeah, and now that we have our basis of songs, we just like know what's going on. Yeah, and like we can just build from that, and it's like it's a snowball effect. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger until we take over the world.
So Lewis was like looking for a band, and for you guys, was the timing just coincidentally perfect? I mean, you guys were looking for a band as well, and
no, I was bugging Lewis to be the drummer for like a year.
Really?
Yeah, when he like first posted the status about like wanting a band, I was like, yo, you should let me drum, but I was like 16. And he was like, nah, like I can't really, like I would like to have you, but like if for shows and stuff, like you probably just need to be older. And so like I was just like, all right. And so he got Ray, and that worked for a while. And then when Ray went off to college, I was like, all right, Lewis,
18.
Here. I'm gonna be 18 in a couple months. Like, what's up? Like, you gonna let me do this? And he's like, yeah, all right, you can do it.
And now he says Noah's the best drummer in the world. So
so
it was just a matter of time.
And also me and Noah, it worked out me and Noah had a band right before this. I was like a hardcore punk band with our friend Lucas Graham he's from Amherst as well, and we kind of just disbanded like a few months after I started getting involved into the eGOmaniAKs. So that was a really good timing for me because it allowed me to like transition my focus into something like 100%. And honestly, like I just feel like this project right now is like definitely the most I've ever had, or most fun I've ever had playing guitar. So
yeah, I was playing bass in a band in high school up until like junior year, and we didn't take it this seriously. We more kind of did like some friends' houses and shit like that. But so we did that, and then when we kind of finished, I wasn't playing bass actually for a really long time, and it was in a sense a really good timing because like I kind of wanted to get back on bass, but I didn't really have any real motivation kind of getting into doing my own music. But so it was actually really great. I was like, yeah, I mean, I have this free time, I'm ready to go. Let's see what happens.
A lot of you guys, I'm guessing most of you guys, or all of you guys, didn't start out listening to rap or hip hop, but now you're playing in a band that plays hip hop and rap. What was kind of like the transition?
Well, for a long time I listened to a lot of like metal, and then like into and some punk rock and like stuff like that. Like Green Day was like the first band that I was like super into or anything.
Yeah, I think like Green Day
Green Day actually really was though.
And then I don't know, like towards like right before I kind of got into hip hop, I was really into like Deerhoof. And so like I don't know, my drumming like definitely takes a lot from like what he's
just
doing,
introduce the groove that they have like that.
But for me, hip hop like right around like 2010, like when like Odd Future came out, they were just like just like our age, like just like we were like just the audience that was like so
malleable
like perfect to get into
yeah.
them, and so they just like me, Eric, like all of our friends like just got mad into Odd Future, and we like ended up starting this group called Dark World, which was like originally like kind of a hip hop like collective, and like from there we all just kind of like started like feeding in and like showing each other what hip hop we liked and this and that, and it just kind of grew to the point where now like mostly every single one of our friends like primarily listens to hip hop, and that's just like where like most of the music that we're listening to and getting inspiration from is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, like I listened to hip hop, like probably the earliest hip hop I guess I listened to was like maybe 06 or something, like, but that was like mixtapes from like my older sister or something. It was never like I was never like an active listener. Like I listened to it and I liked it. I listened to like Jurassic 5, like Mos Def and Mr. Lif and some like just kind of like random stuff on mixtapes. But I feel like I started really listening to hip hop a lot more into high school, but not nearly as much as these guys until really. So I started hanging out with eGOmaniAKs and playing music. Like I've always been into hip hop, but right now it's really at the top what I'm listening to. Like I'm really trying to listen to producers and find new rappers and stuff. So
someone who really put me onto hip hop was Lil B.
Yeah.
Like the first time I heard the song "I'm God," I just like wow. This because it was just I'd obviously listened to hip hop and like rap music before, but never had I heard like rap music that was like that before, and that was just like it just like showed me like it can be something so sick.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song or composition from Odd Future?
From Odd Future, I mean the ones that got me into it were like French.
Yeah, French.
And like Earl and Yonkers, just because those were like the ones, like those are the hits.
Those
but like
are the
French
first ones that
especially
blew
because
up.
the video was just like some goon ass kids like running around like riding skateboards and like just doing shit that like I was like
Yeah, exactly like what we were doing. Like
So how does a kind of switching topics now? How does a typical practice run?
Honestly, like we just come in like if we're honestly we just go in there like if we have a show coming up we'll like run the set, but we usually maybe warm up with just jamming, and Lewis like freestyle, or he has verses written that he'll just try out with something. If he really likes it, we'll just like stick with that and develop that. Maybe that's how we've written basically all the songs we've written. They just kind of come from a jam and we develop that. Yeah,
because there's always just a period at the beginning of practice where we're just like coming in, like some of us are setting up, like,
and
some
Lewis
of us
is
get
usually
set up
playing
first.
Xbox when that's going on. Like
Lewis
he's
is
not
definitely
focused on
playing
anything.
Xbox.
he's usually him and Bert are usually playing like Fight Night or something. I don't know.
But like from the setting up, then like the noodling to like get your sound right.
Yeah.
From that kind of stuff, like a beat usually comes at some point.
Yeah.
And then we'll just kind of start playing, and then Lewis will be like, "Oh, what's that?"
I'll
And
just
he'll like
get
put down
pulled
the
in.
Xbox controller, come in, and like start freestyling.
Bring that back.
And then from there, so we might do that for like 8 minutes or something like that before we stop. And it's like, whoa, guys, all right, we're just mad. All right, we gotta like stop.
Yeah, we actually have to.
and then we'll
We
get
should
down
go
to
through our
business.
set right now.
Yeah. And then we'll get down to business. We might practice like 10 songs or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of songs that we're like working on, just pinning down. There's like songs we're just polishing for a show, and there's songs that like we haven't pinned down yet that like Lewis needs like finish writing for. We need to just rearrange it.
And then there's songs that we have in the pocket
Yeah.
that we can do in our sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully everything gets there pretty soon.
Yeah, right.
Do you guys ever write your own music or want to bring something to the practice to show the rest of you guys?
I honestly don't, because I don't even have my bass with me these days.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like
leaves the
busy.
bass at my
I just leave
crib,
the
so-
bass there. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I should be practicing more. I just don't have the time right now, and I'm happy that I can get this much out of the music with this much effort I'm putting in, and it's a lot of effort in a sense, but it's also like I'm not practicing that much, so I just kick it there and show up and just I like to keep it in the moment.
And yeah, I mean, like, we don't necessarily will come up with like a certain like melody or like on our guitar or on the bass or whatever, but we'll have like certain like ideas like that would be cool for a new song. It doesn't like necessarily have to come to fruition already in terms of like the instrument, but like we'll get ideas and we'll introduce those, and then and practice we'll bring it to life.
Or we might just all have ideas that we have for songs, and then when we're jamming, we'll say, "Oh, like this is a time to bring that idea in," and then like, it'll just all kind of come together. And
I gotta say, like, honestly, like every bass line I think I've written so far, I just literally that was off the dome.
All of the guitar parts too are just off the dome in the moment, like and then you just remember them because we just like have been playing our instruments for a long time. So
Individually, you guys lead separate lives, are involved in different things. Tell me a little bit about what you do outside of the eGOmaniAKs.
I'm a sophomore at UMass Amherst, and I'm studying linguistics, Portuguese and Spanish, working as a research assistant. I lead a capoeira martial arts group in Northampton. Keep a job. I like to stay wicked busy, like almost over schedule, and just get the most out of every day.
Okay. I'm a senior at Amherst High School. I work like a pretty low commitment job. I got like 6 hours a week working at Hastings in town.
Yeah, Hastings.
Just make a little money. I'm in this band and another band, so like honestly, a lot of my like the free time that I'm not working, like I have shows basically every weekend, whether it be with eGOmaniAKs or this other band, Show Me the Body from New York, with my friend Julian, who's at Hampshire, and Harlan, who's at Bennington. But like honestly, most of the week I'm preoccupied with playing music or practicing, or I'm at work or I'm at school. That's it, like basically. Or chilling.
Yeah, I'm a senior at Amherst Regional High School too, and I mean, other than like we're seniors, so we're pretty much done, and like it's so hard to grind out the last few like weeks of like just like doing work, and like I got into UMass, so I'm just that like alone is getting my motivation real down, but pretty much like I was focused on just like academics, and also I work at Valentine Hall at Amherst College, getting some money, but pretty much just spending as much time as I can with my friends and just being happy.
Do you guys feel like when you're together practicing or on stage, you guys each have a responsibility or role that you play, besides obviously playing instruments?
Yeah, definitely. I think well, Eric definitely gets way hyped. Like Eric is like pumping the crowd up, like moving around on stage, like
I try to just be like up there with Lewis, like
he jumps on his
Eric's definitely the biggest performer of us three.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I've always been like that, even when I was fucking 9, playing shows when I was 9. I was like,
me and Miles are chilling in the back more, definitely.
Yeah, we're really posted up in the back, actually.
Yeah, eGOmaniAKs
posted up in the back.
But really, and then that's also comes from our instruments. You know what I mean? Like obviously, guitar is traditionally a little more flashy. Lewis' vocals, like those guys are up front, and like by definition, drum and bass hold down. That's the base. That's your foundation, and we're doing our thing. Like
that said, I think that we are kind of more like on stage, like the directors of like where the music is going.
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones giving like visual
100%.
cues to like Lewis, giving them to Eric, giving them to each other, like, kind of making sure everyone's like right there.
Like in every song, me and Noah are keeping eye contact and communicating basically, because that's like
these boys are the low frequencies and me and Lewis are the high frequencies. And we balance each other out.
Exactly.
And we all have the different ends of the energy.
It's a remarkably good metaphor there.
Yeah.
The way you're thinking.
Thanks, brother.
It's all vibes, man.
It's all vibes.
Vibes.
So you guys have been playing together for a while now. Do you feel like you have kind of a telepathic kind of connection with each other especially when you're performing? You look at one of each other and you're like saying something or trying to get across a message.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, yeah.
As a musician, like if you can't,
any good musician should be able to do that.
Yeah, and we can do that. We're comfortable doing that. Like, we're set.
What are your thoughts on Lewis's rapping?
Well, as I mentioned, like I mean, honestly, he's probably one of my favorite rappers. So it's like sick to be able to like perform on stage with him. And I remember when I was younger, like I was a freshman and he was a senior when he was in high school, and I was a freshman. And I remember going to like some of his shows and being like, when he was just using DJ before he had a band, just being like, damn, he's so sick. And it's just cool now to think that like I'm just sharing the stage with him.
he has like a great talent in that, like, although he's like a relatively new rapper, like didn't start rapping until he was like 18, 19 years old, like he has been like pretty solid from the beginning, and also like has the added gift of being like bilingual. Like if you listen to the way he raps, like the fact that he can speak Spanish, like it adds a whole nother dimension in that he's so good at rapping so fast, and he can bring in Spanish when he like wants to, which makes it like what he has to say
and
like
effectively too, not just in terms of like lyrical content, but like just how it sounds. It's just
which is like half the battle.
I mean, honestly, he's unbelievably talented. Like the speed at which he can rap is unprecedented. Like I've actually in person never seen someone rap that fast and that articulated. And he honestly, like, you know, I think personally, I think he's still in some ways finding his place lyrically in terms of what he's trying to get across in his music. Like, I think you can judge. There's a lot of ways you could judge music, and I think he himself is like he's trying to add more meaningful content. You know, people rap about like rolling up in the nice whip and like throwing money, and like that's fun to rap about, and I still like that kind of rap. But like at a certain point, we all know that's not necessarily true, and I think he's
or necessarily what's important.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I think he's definitely transitioning towards a more like I wouldn't want to say meaningful, but you know, lyrical content that he's really proud of.
And also like personally, like I freestyle with him all the time. We cypher all the time, and like he is single-handedly one of the best freestyles I've ever heard. Like, that just hands down, and that just goes to show that like he breathes rap music. That like he was meant to rap, because if he just has the mind for it, then it's no effort. Then it's just like he's just being himself.
It's like he has the next like 2 bars already in his head when he's saying.
The next like 10, and then
it's
he does
literally
it
incredible. And then he does it so fast too. Like we can just lay down a groove. And we'll be playing fast, and he just spits. It's actually incredible.
And we could just go for 45 minutes straight, and he'd just freestyle the entire time, and you wouldn't even notice it was a freestyle. You'd think it was a verse.
That's the thing. People sleep on Louis Go. They don't even know how.
Some of his songs, like
a lot.
At least one, yeah, a lot. At least like one verse from like the majority of his hits are just freestyle verses.
Yeah, but people don't even know.
Do you guys freestyle?
All the time. All the time.
Why not?
You know, it's fun, but like honestly, if I want to get to a point where I feel comfortable freestyle rapping, that's more practice than I already even want to do. I'd rather spend that time producing music or practicing playing bass or something like that, you know.
Don't know, just like not that into it.
Yeah, you know.
It's just vibes.
So you obviously appreciate Lewis and how, you know, much effort he puts into his music and his talent. How about you guys? Do you guys obviously appreciate each other in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, totally. Definitely. We all bring something different to the table, and that's really what I love. And I like that. I like we can all.
And they're all good things to bring to the
exactly.
table.
It's like you need
none of it's
all
bullshit.
Of them.
Like,
I feel like, you know, we all have qualities. There's all ways that we look up to each other, and there's all ways that we can learn from each other. And I think it makes a great team actually.
Squad.
So, final few questions here. What drives you guys to keep doing what you're doing?
It's what I love doing. I love playing music, and I love hanging out with my boys, my eGOmaniAKs. Like,
honestly, yeah, it's just like the feeling of just spontaneously creating the sound that we love and that those people love, and we can like tell them what to do, what we're doing. That's just crazy. I love that. Yeah. That's the best feeling.
And even if like we weren't necessarily like the eGOmaniAKs, we'd still probably be playing music together. Yeah. So might as well just be the eGOmaniAKs.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like we're just all mad good friends, and we chill all the time anyways. When we're not practicing, when we're not playing shows, when we're not traveling. So it just happens because it's like it has to.
Yeah.
Is there a goal?
World
take
domination.
Over.
Yeah, just
take over.
As far as we can take it. Yeah. The goal is as much as like whatever. Yeah. Like we don't necessarily have a specific goal in mind, but
take over. Like, once we get a record deal, we're happy.
Like, no, it's just take over. Like that's domination.
Ever hungry.
Give me what you got, and I'm still not satisfied.
Do people recognize you guys as eGOmaniAKs, or there's the drummer from the eGOmaniAKs, or anything like that?
No, we're not famous at all like that.
Not even in the local area?
Well, no, because I mean people like like, I mean, kids from our school, they like know the eGOmaniAKs because like we've played at our school before,
Yeah.
and they all know me and Noah as like well-established musicians. But it's just at the same point, it's just so like Eric, yeah, I grew up with him.
Yeah, exactly.
We
It's
grew
like
up with him, so
people
it's not
just
like
know us as kids, not as like musicians. You know, like we're guys who play music, but.
But with that said, I'd give it a year. I think
definitely UMass too, because we're gonna be playing a lot of shows UMass, and
especially with this spring concert. If we win this battle of the bands, we're gonna be
opening for the spring concert. So
with Wale, with
Slightly
Stupid, and with the Goo Goo Dolls,
Goo Goo
and
Dolls.
Honestly,
Rarest lineup you've ever
straight
heard
up,
in your
if
life.
we are afforded this opportunity,
Yeah.
I think we have what it takes to body Wale and put him on the ring. Like that man is like, I don't like listen to him. I don't like care to listen to him. But like Lewis is like,
yeah, like honestly,
he's just as good of a rapper.
I'll say he's a better rapper. I'm just like,
and we're a disgusting band.
I can't wait to see.
And he doesn't have a band.
It's
This is sick.
It's crazy.
What blog was that?
Don't remember.
Don't
Sorry.
remember.
You could. I mean, he would probably go back on his Facebook profile. And
Honestly, Google Louis Go. Just look on the first 10 pages.
It was just like I think it was just someone who went to when he played at, where was that show?
Oh, was it at Wesleyan?
No. It was when he played at.
Was it Harvard the first time, maybe?
No, it wasn't at college. It wasn't at college. It was the big Apollo. It was when he played at the Apollo.
Oh, word, yeah.
He played at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York. So
Yes.
like obviously he's gonna get attention from that because people were there, and someone just blogged about it from that, and there's probably some blogger. I don't know.
You got last question here. You guys have a bunch of shows, maybe a show every weekend in the month of April. What's your organizing process? Like, how do you guys organize shows together, especially if Lewis doesn't have a cell phone?
At the last minute.
Facebook.
Literally.
And Facebook.
Like, he'll post the date of a show. He's like, we're doing this show. And then, like, either we'll tell him we can or we can't do it. And then sometimes that information is not conveyed until 2 days before. And then we can either do it or we can't. Honestly, it's just like...
Like this Saturday, we're supposed to have a show at Bard. We already played there, but like it's not gonna. We might happen. We'll see. We don't really know.
I can't go.
Me and Miles can't play, so we have to figure something out.
So yeah,
Lewis thinks we're playing.
Basically, our organizational method is be adaptive enough to deal with whatever happens at the last minute. Because like honestly, there's no other way until we get that unlocked.
So this doesn't stress you out, just like not necessarily knowing what's gonna happen next.
I mean, like it's like stressful in like maybe you don't get to do a show, or you know maybe you're like, dang, like I have this commitment and now I just can't do that show because I didn't know. But like, you know,
it's all pretty expected that like if it works, dope. It works. If it doesn't,
whatever.
Next time, man. Next show.
We got another show next weekend.
Just, exactly. It's like it's right. We have like shows like every weekend, so you know. We just know there's gonna be another one,
and they're gonna keep coming faster too. Like it's not gonna slow down.
Yeah,
we're not gonna let it slow down
until we can slow it down and make it so we're playing dope show here,
exactly.
Dope show here 2 weeks later.
Not dope show, doper show, and then even doper show, and then even doper show.
Yeah, because once we're doing like less shows like per location and just spreading out more, that's like you're in higher demand. Like people are asking you, you're like, sorry, we actually already have a show, but like that's where you want to be, where you're spreading your music out that far.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a favorite show that you've played in so far?
I mean, the biggest one was like Hampshire Halloween.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't even play. I wasn't there yet. That was when the Hermes College kids were in it, and I was there. I watched, and it was sick. They killed it. It was awesome.
That's probably one of my favorite.
I would say that was like the most like exciting show for me because it was like us, and there was like a nice sound system, like professional lighting, like 200 people in a tent, like I don't know, that was crazy. But like we played Bard one time and it was so sick.
Bard was fun. Honestly, probably the most fun I had at a show was when we played at the Elevens. Which is a nightclub in Northampton, right across from Pearl Street, and there was like probably only like 50 people there, but it was so much fun. I don't know, something about it. I just had so much fun because I had never played in like a nightclub like that before. With just an active sound technician, and it just felt so like awesome. It just felt incredible.
Yeah.
and we were also just on that night, so it sounded good.